welcome, welcome. My
Right.
name is Kristy Hunter, and with the help of Sir Paul Babbit, we came up with this idea of inviting all of our good friends from the Chris Crone conference that we went to just a few weeks ago. So we are so happy that you're here joining us today. We're all from different parts of the nation, and some of us are here in Utah, where I'm from. Paul, where are you at tonight?
I'm near Santa Rosa, about an hour north of the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco.
Welcome. So exciting. So glad you can be here today. So we asked all of these wonderful people to come on and tell us what they took away from UFD. UFD is Unleash Your Financial Destiny. It's an amazing conference by Chris Crone that teaches you so much about not only business and real estate, but it teaches you about how to unlock your mind and become limitless. And I have to say, it was completely life-changing for me. So I am so excited to have you all here with us today to kind of enjoy talking together and getting to know each other a little more, and also to share what you guys learned. So I'm also a voice teacher and vocal coach. That's kind of my jam, what I do at the Vocal Connection. And so I want to give a couple of good tips so that each of you feel confident as you share today. So I want everyone to take a deep breath. Yeah, deep breaths are so good. Sometimes public speaking can be a little nerve-wracking. One, look at the camera. Okay, so look at the camera. We want to see those beautiful eyes and smile. Just with those two things, just by looking at the camera and smiling, all of a sudden you're connecting with your audience and making them feel important. So that's the first two tips. The third tip is talk slow. Usually we add in the extra ums and maybe an all right, when we are trying to talk fast. If we slow down and think about what we're going to say, we usually use less of those. So it's not a race. You don't have to speed up. You can kind of take your time, think about what you're going to say, and then just say it straight. So that is my suggestion. Tristan, do you want to be in here twice? I have two of you. So hopefully that's working.
Clone himself. I know.
Right? I'm like, maybe we're cloned, right? It's all good. Okay, so we're gonna look at the camera. We are going to smile and we're going to talk nice and slow. Now, another thing about our voice is we have the ability to speak wide, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everyone say that with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Or we can be really narrow and I talk like really narrow. The truth is, when we talk really narrow, it's kind of annoying. So some people have a natural wide attractor state. And it's like people who are from England, they're so lucky. They have this nice wide attractor state. Other people have really narrow. So I encourage people when they're doing public speaking to try and find a more natural, wider state. And the best way I have found is to think like you're a queen or a king and you're talking to your audience or you're doing Shakespeare. So everyone think again and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And it just tends to be a little more open. It opens up your throat. You don't tense as much and it's more relaxed. So that is another great tip for today as we go through and share our favorite takeaway from UFD and also how we're applying it in our lives. So our very first person up is going to be Mr. David Smith, and I will let him introduce himself.
Hey everyone, I'm David Smith and I'm known as the ultimate real estate wholesaler because as somebody who spent too much time behind a desk and as the friendliest Canadian you've ever met, I now want to bring people together and do real estate. And that's the key for me. That brings me joy, happiness, and enables me to make kind of money that I've been looking to make. So nice to meet you.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are so excited to have you here, David. David, what was one of your favorite takeaways that you had from UFD?
Being positive and crazily or energetically positive is a superpower and trainable. And the specific takeaway that I took away to keep myself in a positive state, I learned from a blind guy who did the most incredible donation in front of Tony Robbins, and now is speaking in front of stages in front of millions now. And all he does is do push-ups. That blew my mind. You're having an off moment, something else, and you get on the ground, you do push-ups. He does over 100 now. And he does it 12 times a day. So he's doing what? 1,000 push-ups a day as a blind guy? That's amazing.
Impressive, right? Impressive.
What? And so I took that.
Push-ups.
I'm now doing it about 6 times a day, and I started at 20 and I'm up to 36, and it totally flushes in and brings in an entirely new state. Love it.
That is incredible. Hey, nice job, David. I actually couldn't even do a push-up before UFD, and I'm up to 20, and I'm very proud of myself.
Awesome. Go, Kristy.
So,
and Dave.
yeah, that was a big, that was an awesome takeaway. That's so cool, David. How are you, so you're applying that to your daily life by doing the push-ups. Have you seen a difference in how it's affecting your passion or your career or what you're trying to do?
I'll get vulnerable. Right as I was doing that conference and I had that breakthrough come to me, somebody closest to me took all my money, $80,000. And that same day I met Forbes Riley, and that energetic positivity and same thing from Sean forced a decision. I chose positivity in that moment. And it's like life said, that's not enough. Come into this next week following it and get the news my closest friend, my dad, has cancer. So how does this particular thing change and apply? We were in the hospital just the other day, and right after the doctor came in, leaves, get down, do some push-ups, and immediately connected with me. I said, "What are you doing?" And he saw the way that I interacted with him right after that. It was an immediate, different, positive, engaging moment. That shift, not just in that moment, but also applying that in even just mindset. When he was first told that diagnosis, he was told, "You've got 3 months to live. Don't even bother, and we'll see you in 2.5 weeks. There's not a thing we can do." And taking that mindset and applying it differently, I spent time and researching, praying. I contacted some family members, and I kid you not, the very next day, it caused a thought with my stepmom, and she got into a very close, highly reputable doctor and got him in the next day. Very next day, a biopsy from that doctor. And we were previously told, you got 3 months, we'll not see you in 2 weeks. So that mindset literally shifted into something to give my father a fighting chance.
That is incredible. That is so incredible. Thank you so much for sharing that. That was, and we are all gonna be praying for your dad, and the positivity that really is the shift. Not only, no matter what happens, this time you have together, whether it's years or whatever the period is, because of the positivity, that's going to make all the difference. So way to use that takeaway. That's incredible. Thank you. Thank you for your share. We're going to move to Jonathan Gerard, who I also met at UFD. I actually met him the very first day. And I have to say, Jonathan changed my life, because when I was sitting by him, he was like all gung-ho, was so gung-ho. And I was kind of like, well, this guy's really into this. And he basically told me if I put in 100%, then I would know what I was supposed to do after this event. And he helped me every step of the way. So I am super grateful for him, and I'm grateful he's here. Jonathan, will you introduce yourself?
Yes, I will. I am Jonathan Gerard. I'm known as a passionate, active listener, and I use that to help other people all the time. Depends on who I'm with, who I'm helping, what they need, if it's in health, if it's in wealth, if it's in learning how to lead or get up and speak in front of people. Me and my wife have taught classes before for the homeschool community around us. We love doing that because it gives us a chance to spend time with our family and also to be able to teach people really great things. So what I took away from UFD, a lot of friendships. I love the friendships that I made there. I also loved the fact that the push-ups, I have to go a little bit lighter on that because my job, I noticed that after I had done it for a week, that I wasn't able to pick up the items that I needed to pick up at work. So I had
You're
to,
like, I'm sore.
I use it very, I use it very deliberately right now. So when I feel that stress coming on, I'll sit there and I'll do it. So I'm up to about 30 now. Every time I do it, I always add the one. So I'm up to 30 now. And what else can I tell you? I loved that I had my family with me at UFD, or at least my four oldest children, and my daughter also did a breakthrough session, and that was super awesome for her. So I got a chance to do one, and I'm glad that you took the opportunity to do that too, Kristy.
Thank you. The breakthrough session was amazing. Absolutely incredible. I am so grateful. Jonathan, I didn't even know those were available. And Jonathan told me that the table was up, and he came and got me during the conference and said, the table's up, you need to go do it right now. And it was so needed. I'm so grateful that you took the time to tell me that. So thank you so much. All right, we're going in alphabetical order, and where the next person is Jorge. Will you please? Jorge, I met him over dinner on the very last day we were there, and we just like automatically connected. And he just moved to Utah, really close to where I live, and we were able to start talking and connecting. And we both have a lot of the same passions and excitements, and we're actually hoping to work together here in a bit as we're developing some things. So I will let Jorge introduce himself.
Hello, everyone. Jorge Ariano. I am actually known as the limiting belief destroyer and trauma annihilator. I am actually really good. I've spent a lot of my time, a lot of my years working with people in the most severe situations, prostitution, drugs, addictions, trauma, child abuse, neglect. I've spent many, many of my years working with people like that and helping them find their way back. So that's kind of my specialty. That's what I'm doing with. I have the breakthrough certification as well. So that it has been pretty much the main thing I've been focusing on for myself and with my clients, and it's helped quite a bit. Especially myself, my journey has changed quite a bit since running into Chris Crone and immersing myself with him as well. It's changed my life a lot. So I owe him a lot. Actually, thanks to him, I was actually able to overcome my limiting beliefs and write my first book. So it's just been a real blessing for me to run into that man.
You need to tell us the name of your book. What's the name of your book? Where can we find it?
So it's 31 Days of Breakthrough, and you can find it on Amazon. And it's just, it's
fabulous. I've read it. It is fabulous. It is so helpful. I am at the very beginning of my journey of breakthroughs, and I'm so grateful I downloaded that book. So find it, guys.
Yeah, if you have a Kindle membership, you can get it for free. So you just download it for free. It's part of the whole Kindle thing. So yeah. So
what's the name of it?
It's 31 Days of Breakthrough. So it's really geared towards giving you a day by day, step by step. What can you do to improve? When I was on this journey, I wish there was a book like that. So I said, hey, how about I write it? How about I write a book like this? So that's exactly what I did. I decided to take a day by day step. Like what are the 31 topics that I felt have changed my life, that if I were to practice these 31 topics every single day, what would change? What would be the change for me? And then so I decided those 31 topics. So
that's
awesome.
Pretty cool.
I like it.
That's so awesome.
Yeah. So my biggest takeaway from UFD, I've been to 3 of them now, and my biggest takeaway this time was actually the blind man as well, Sean. He really helped me to understand about like connection, about putting myself out there. I'm a pretty closed off person. I'm kind of like a lone wolf type thing, and it doesn't work. It doesn't work, especially in like this type of field. I have to be willing to open up and be with other people. So on my last day, I had actually told myself I'm going to talk to somebody. I'd stayed with my clique, the little team leaders, and I said no. Like today, I'm going to venture out, and that's actually when I met Kristy. So I'm super glad, super excited that happened. So
yay!
Much gratitude. Yes.
That is so. I would have never guessed you were an introvert, honestly. Like, because you were so talkative that day. Like, you were just chatting with me, and I am obviously an extrovert. But that is so cool. Thank you so much for sharing that. And literally, his book is fabulous. So everybody, look at that. Okay, our next person to share today is going to be Tristan. Tristan, you are up. I'm going to pin you.
Ouch, that hurt.
All right, I met Tristan on the last day too, and he's fabulous. And I would love for you to introduce yourself.
Sure, absolutely. Tristan, I'm based in Arizona, originally British. And really, breakthroughs from the breakthrough was just really addressing self-limiting beliefs in a different way, looking at them I've done some timeline therapy before. I've heard of the breakthrough technique. I think it was developed by somebody around the NLP area, although it's not NLP. But yeah, I was really happy about how that worked, how that was able to cut through many things, and made some really great relationships from the time there.
That's so great. What are how are you implementing some of the things you learned?
In progress. I'm doing push-ups in the morning as soon as I wake up. Not necessarily through the day, but just looking at how I can simplify business life and be more impactful with the things that I do choose to do. Finishing off some projects and really bringing some people into my business to collaborate with me and work under me, like Dave's starting to listen and see what's going on, see if he's a fit to work with us, which seems great so far. And really, being so new, it's an opportunity for him to learn from scratch. Learn each layer of the business as we come across it. We've already got a couple of people that work with me, one particularly as a partner. Dwayne's in the business, and there's two or three more that may start with us next week doing different parts of the puzzle. Just very small bits, but just to gain experience and build out the capability and take some stress and remove some hats that I've been wearing.
What kind of a business is it?
It's real estate business. It's we do a lot of creative finance stuff. We are giving some cash offers, and we're going to focus a bit more of that once Dave's up to speed. Looking for flips for myself, and also looking to get into more buy and hold in a couple of key markets, which are just working through looking at those at the moment. So
that's great, Tristan. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So do you help people because your company's Birth to Net Worth? Do you help investors like buy houses with you, or what?
So Birth to Net Worth is a separate thing. My real estate operation is one thing. Birth to Net Worth is, through Forbes, is really looking to empower people to create a pathway to financial independence, when they retire, and have a financially thriving retirement, not just $300,000 or $400,000 that runs out after 3 or 4 years or less. Do you know what I mean? So that's another brand. I've got several businesses that I have, and it's taken some time to focus on each one, give each one some love, and push them forward in their own way.
That's fabulous. Thank you so much for sharing. Paul, we're gonna let you share a little bit. Paul is my partner here. He came up with the idea on the last day we met, and he said, I think you'd be a really good host of a show. And I said, okay, let's do it. And so we kind of collaborated on this. So will you introduce yourself, Paul?
Yeah, I'm Paul, and I live in California. And I've been doing coaching probably on and off for about 25 years. Been around the group of Tony Robbins, Chris Crone, Sean. Intensely the last 2 years, I got back into it. I'm a pilot, and I love to fly. That's what I've been getting into mainly lately. But I still do coaching. And I just wanted to acknowledge all of you from, I'm just going to use the first names, David in the push-ups, and then Jonathan and your daughter going through those breakthrough sessions, and Jorge, it looks like, well, getting away from the whole long wolf thing. And then I guess Tristan from Arizona, kind of in a couple of different businesses. I'm kind of a little bit like that too. I don't know if you guys know, but Charlie Munger. Have you ever heard of this guy, Charlie Munger?
Yeah, he died this week, didn't he?
He died this week, okay? And I think he died at 97 or 8 or something. But Charlie Munger was basically one of he helped invest with Warren Buffett. And I mainly brought it up because he, has not only made a lot of money, but he was a real authentic person. And that's really what I wanted to create with Kristy here, is a place we could really go and be ourselves and share the challenging times, like working on this license for like 40 years, it feels like. And then the great things too, that we're having breakthroughs, and I have a real estate business as well, which is doing really really well overall. And then and so that's really what I wanted you guys all to know, is that I'd like to, if it's okay with everybody, be able to share information. Kristy might be able to handle this, or one of you, and then be able to get back in touch with each other. I actually would love to talk to, I think it's the Annihilator here, Jorge, about some things. And then, it's interesting because we all happen to be somewhat in the coaching field. And what's great about that, I think, is I've had clients, and I'm sure you guys have had clients, and you think, this might be a better fit for a different kind of coach. So I've been working on some kind of a system where I would, or actually we would take calls and then fit them to the best coach to get the best results and possibly move them around. So that's kind of another side thing. But for now, I think being able to have this place where we could all be and just be ourselves and come together occasionally, talk UFD, or was everybody in UFD? Okay. And so that's okay. One thing we have in common. And anything else, and Kristy, how maybe we can give some feedback to her, and whatever you guys want to do, because one of the things I found over the 25 years or 20 years of doing this is the events are great. It gives us a great clarity of what we want, and but then having people that we're accountable to, which is probably one of my biggest breakthroughs at the event, was really creating a team that you're accountable to and that you're excited about things with, and makes it fun to get up in the morning again and share whatever it is, so there's clarity in that. And so that's a little bit about me and what I'm hoping that we can, support each other all together in just making our lives the best they can possibly be through coaching each other and others, and helping in any way we can. So thanks again, Kristy, for getting us all together. And I hope that we can continue to do this. I know I can, and then we can also contact each other, individually. You're muted. You're muted, Kristy.
If you want to put any of your information in the chat, you can, if you would like to. That would be awesome, and then other people can know where you are. We do have one more person that joined us a little bit later. So that is Cindy Clyde, and so we're gonna let her introduce herself. And she also happens to be my sister and went to UFD with me, and I was so excited to have her there. So we're gonna have her introduce herself and what her takeaway from UFD was.
Awesome.
You're muted.
I was hoping to stay quiet through this. Hi, everybody.
Hi.
I love being Kristy's big sister, and I'm grateful that she talked me into going to the program. I've been a nurse and a business of my own, home business, for many years, and learned to do a lot of things by myself, and got burned a lot of times over the years, as well as literally when I was little, I was burned in a fire. So I learned to be very tough on my own, because I couldn't, for a while, I couldn't have anybody touch me. And then I learned that, it was hard to depend on people. So, but this time going to this program, I decided if that was ever going to change, I needed to put all in and allow other people into that zone. And by the last day, when we had to go over the wall, I was the one that went, there's no way I'm getting over this wall. And if I go by everybody who's around me, who's all small, I'm not getting over the wall. And I have a possibility of not, of letting somebody else go over the wall for me, but then I would not gain anything. And so I found 4 of the biggest, tallest, buff guys around, and I touched them on the back of their arms and just said, guys, this is how much I weigh. Can you get me over the wall?
Wow.
And they all looked at each other and said, you bet, because it was the end of 4 days together. And if it had been day 1, wouldn't have happened. I wouldn't have trusted them. They would have still had egos, But one of them, with tears in his eyes, just said, ma'am, I bench press 320 pounds. I know I can get you over the wall. And it was life-changing for me. I don't care about, if anything else comes of it, that's all great. That's all frosting. But having that breakthrough of finally trusting somebody enough and going through it and allowing the vulnerability to be lifted in the air and put over that wall was beyond amazing.
Nice.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for sharing that, Cindy. I had so many takeaways from the Chris Crum conference. I went there not knowing who I was, what I wanted to do, and who I wanted to be. I was in a very lost place. I felt very torn between my professions and the different things I do, and didn't know what my future was supposed to be. And I came out of there knowing exactly who I am, knowing exactly what I want to do, and with a lot more purpose and bigger picture for me. So my goal with the Vocal Connection is to actually work with teens to eradicate suicide and drug addiction in schools by teaching the importance of words, the words we listen to, the words we say, the words we sing, the words we write. All of these words impact our souls. And I want to help teach children and teens and adults how to have emotional intelligence and really use these words in a way that build us up. And I hope to do that through the music that I write and the music that I sing, and go and talk to many, many places. So that is my dream that I'm hoping to achieve. I am so grateful for all of you that you would come and join us on the Sharing You show and you were brave to talk about what you're doing, what you learned. I hope to have many more people come on the show and talk about the things they're working on and what they are trying to accomplish, because we together can accomplish so much more. So thank you for joining us today. We're going to go out with some music. So we are going to listen to Because I'm Happy, because that's good stuff.
Hey, one thing before we go, if there is a time, preferably morning, that you guys could meet on a regular basis, let Kristy know, and I'll make myself available, and we can get a lot of momentum on the UFD and breakthroughs and all that kind of stuff. All right.
Sweet.
I love that. And I also wanted to piggyback off of the accountability. I just met up with a longtime coworker friend that we've seen each other here and there, and then all of a sudden we saw each other at a real estate convention, and then a different place, and then all of a sudden UFD, and then wholesale. We're like, something's going on here. The universe is shoving us together
Over and over, it sounds like.
literally. And we're a very similar personalities, very energetic and interesting. And so we went out to lunch and we thought, you know what? We're going to Chris Crown this thing. And so we put each other to the test. So by Sunday, we now have to do some particular things. If he doesn't, then he has to do a snow angel in his underwear. Because it's pain, right? That's what they said. If you don't follow through, the reward is great, but the pain drives you.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, because I had 80 grand stolen, money's a little tight at the moment as I'm waiting for some other things to come in. So I'd have to give $100 to my brother, who I know would be like, no, you keep this. So I'd have to like force myself to hand that over at the moment. So I love this idea of staying in connection and pushing each other to do better. It's fantastic.
Yeah, I think together we're all stronger, right? We're all stronger. So yeah, if we have, please say a good time. And if you know people that would want to come and share what they're doing, I'm hoping to do these shows at least once a month and later more. So we'll just keep going. I'm going to play the music. You guys can chat in the chat if you want. You guys can stay on and dance if you want, or you can say goodbye. But thank you for coming to the Sharing You Show. I really enjoyed having all of you.
Hope to see you again. Have a wonderful.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone. Thank you. Such a pleasure.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate you. See ya.